Well, we've reached the eve of the big event, the 2022 NFL Draft. It is tomorrow, and with that, I have to bring you guys a photo that I just saw. I have to credit our SF 49ers, one of the cool fan accounts. He does a great job really aggregating and keeping track of everything that's going on in the land of 49ers news. He's on Instagram. He's also on Twitter. And I saw some great pictures, and I just had to steal one. This one of Fred Warner and George Kittle from the epic snow globe game in Green Bay. And, this is an exciting night for me because I've talked about this a lot. I think everything before the draft is speculation and mock drafts and what if this, what if that. Nobody really knows what they're talking about. And then everything after the draft is actually firm team building discussion. It's the draft that marks the page turning from speculation to reality to actual roster building. So it's a holiday for me every year. Of course, the excitement of this weekend for the 49ers with, the potential. I mean, some fans are probably nervous about it, but to me, everything's excitement just because I love football and I don't really care how things end up with the 49ers. I just love tracking this. But with the Deebo Samuel turmoil, with Jimmy Garoppolo, obviously, potentially on the trading block this weekend, and with those 9 picks coming in for the 49ers, 9 right now, we don't know if they're going to trade up, trade down. That's intriguing in and of itself. Of course, the weekend itself is exciting, but for me, it's the symbolic turning of the page from speculation season to let's talk about building a football team season, because the pieces are going to be in place after this weekend, and we can start to truly evaluate what the 49ers did in the big picture of their offseason. There's free agency and there's the draft, and you can't really grade anything. You can't talk about anything, and you can't really firmly project how the team might look until you get through both of them, right? So there's people trying to make snap judgments based on just free agency, and then there's going to be people just grading the draft, but the two are going to work in cohesion, and I cannot wait to see how those two will work. The reason I put Fred Warner and George Kittle up there is because you look at Warner, that's a 2018 third-round draft pick on the left. You look at Kittle, that's a 2017 fifth-round draft pick on the right. Both, since their selections by the 49ers, have earned all-pro status. So then both were absolutely key members of the team during that epic win in Green Bay. So it goes to show you that what happens during the draft is going to be very significant moving forward. And I still remember when the 49ers drafted Kittle and when the 49ers drafted Warner in consecutive years, 17 and 18. Not all too much fanfare regarding either pick, right? Because they were fifth rounder for Kittle and then a third rounder for. All right, and we are back. Good. The mic is back. Sorry, that mic cut out there for just a second. I don't know what happened. It just told me that my sound cut off, so we'll take care of that in a little bit. But you look at Warner and you look at Kittle, clean-cut guys back when they're first drafted. You got the choir boy look when you first come into the NFL, but then you turn into that professional football star. So they've obviously both taken on especially Kittle. He's got his on-field persona, but both of them have got the longer hair now. Both of them got the beards going. Hey, I have the beard going. I used to be a clean-cut guy when I first started covering the NFL. Not anymore. I guess it does a number on all of us that are close to the building. But anyway, now you see this. Now you see the photo on here, just off to the side from me. And obviously, that was a monumental win for the 49ers. Fred Warner had a big punch out in that game, right? George Kittle's obviously always a big part of 49ers game plans, whether it be catching the football or road grading on some blocks. The bottom line is that what the 49ers invested in those drafts in 2017 and 2018 has paid off big time for this team that's been to a couple NFC championship games and a Super Bowl over the course of the past 3 seasons. So you see a moment like this, and you're reminded of where it started. And it's a good time to be reminded of where it started right now because the draft is tomorrow. The lead up to the draft generates a ton of talk, but it's the development and assimilation of the 49ers roster, and for all teams rosters, after the fact, after the draft, that makes the true story. And that's why this is all so exciting right now. So if you guys have any questions, toss a couple my way. I'm not going to be on for long today. I know the Warriors are playing. I know the Giants are playing. I'm going to be on tomorrow. This is really kind of the 1-year anniversary of the YouTube channel. So I'll do a 1-year anniversary live tomorrow before the draft. I wanted to thank you all for subscribing over the course of the year. It's amazing that on essentially the year anniversary, we hit 13,000. 13,000 people in a year is not too bad, especially since I understand that the growth happens exponentially. You got to get that car moving. It's, stalled at the side of the road. The first few pushes are the toughest. Then it gets rolling. You kick that engine into gear. And I'm really happy that this community is expanding as quickly as it has. And those of you who are subscribers to The Athletic as well, thank you for supporting across all platforms. We got The Athletic, we've got YouTube, and of course I'll post here and there on other spots like Instagram. So that's more personal for me, though, even though it's a public Instagram. So you can go ahead and follow me there. But I appreciate all of you here that have been with the YouTube for the course of the past year. It was at this time last year where I was promising you guys on this night, the night before the draft, that the 49ers would not pick Mac Jones. And then they didn't pick Mac Jones. I was telling you guys, Trey Lance is my pick. I knew it wasn't going to be Mac Jones. I knew for sure that it was not going to be Mac Jones. It was between Lance and I just couldn't narrow down between Lance and Justin Fields because I didn't have the 49ers weren't releasing enough intel, but we did know through some other hints, some other birdies, a little bit, there was some whispering that it wasn't going to be Mac Jones and it ended up being Trey Lance. And you might have heard it first here on the channel. So I really appreciate you guys for the year of support. But the point that I have written underneath me is the big one right now. It's time to flip the page. This weekend it will be toward roster building. And we'll know who the 49ers have in tow. We'll be able to make a real 53-man roster projection. It's going to be really fun. All right, let's answer a few questions and let's be on with our evening. Couple more Deebo boombox videos and you'll go exponential. Yeah, that's been my most viewed video on YouTube was Deebo walking out alongside the boombox with Trent Williams in Dallas. And it's hard to believe that it devolved from that Deebo being the heart and soul of the football team to him going out now and demanding a trade, requesting a trade. To me, it's crazy. But I think a lot of that's agent driven. I think the 49ers believe they can get something worked out here. Again, every man has his price. You'll trade anybody if there's an offer that's good enough. So there's a chance Deebo Samuel's not on this roster for long, but I just think it's likelier that he is on this roster unless the 49ers get a king's ransom that I think most of us don't expect them to get. And Deebo's such a big, big part of this football team. All right, a couple questions, and then let's get on with our night. Let's go watch the Warriors probably beat Denver. I think it's going to be a gentleman's sweep, win that 1 in 5 games, let the Nuggets have one. See the Giants play the A's. A lot going on in Bay Area sports this weekend. If somebody wants my Giants tickets, let me know. On May 7th, Cardinals-Giants. I don't think I'm going to be able to make it to that game, so let me know. All right. How much faith do I give Shanahan and Lynch to crush this draft? Well, I think the 49ers have a really good scouting department. They have a great track record of picking up solid players especially rounds 4 through 7, right? I mean, the 5th round's been their money round, but that is the sign of a good scouting department. I know that they have swung and missed at a couple of the higher round picks. You talk about Solomon Thomas and then Reuben Foster early on, but they've also hit on some of the higher round picks, right? Nick Bosa comes to mind. Deebo Samuel comes to mind. He was a 2nd round pick. So the 49ers have hit, they've missed. They've obviously hit much more than they've missed. Otherwise, they wouldn't have gone from irrelevance to 2 NFC championship games and a Super Bowl appearance in 3 seasons. So I think that you can have faith in the 49ers scouting department, and they're going to have a chance to shine this year because this is a medium to bottom heavy draft. It's not a top heavy draft. So medium to bottom heavy drafts, that's where the scouting department can take a bow. And the 49ers scouting department has been great over the past 5 years. They're going to have a chance to shine in this draft. All right. Oh, cool. We passed over 500,000 views in 1 year. Or is that just a video? Oh, no. I think Mike is just talking about that one video. You could clarify if you want in the comment section, Mike. But I think that Deebo Samuel video, yeah, I think that one got over 500,000 views, which is great. It was great for the channel. Maybe we can play it at some point on the anniversary tomorrow. I'll think about it. But that was fun. Those were good times in Dallas and then in Green Bay when it was too cold and the setup at Lambeau Field didn't allow us to get a good tunnel video. Got one against the Rams in the NFC Championship game, and we all know how that turned out for the 49ers. So here's Mike. We are over 3 million views altogether. Over 3 million views in the year. Those are all good stats for tomorrow. You guys know that I like the metrics. I would say 10% likelihood of a Deebo draft day trade happening. 90% chance he stays. The 49ers want to keep him. Again, they set the price. I don't know if other teams are going to meet it. And that price might include 2 first-round picks. It's more than one, in my opinion. So we'll see. He's that important to this football team. One more question. Are the 10th and the 35th first-round picks from the Jets? Well, the 35th is not the first-round, not a first-round pick, is it? From the Jets, worth it for Deebo? The first round ends at 32. Thank you for your content. You're the most logical and unbiased 49ers journalist. I appreciate it. I see, to me, King's Ransom means more than just number 10, another second-round pick thrown in there. King's Ransom means something as big as the package for Tyreek Hill, which was like 5 picks. Maybe throw in a player. I mean, it has to be something crazy. It has to blow my mind. I mean, didn't Jamal Adams go for 2 first-round picks? And he's an inconsequential defensive back that doesn't really make that big of an impact on most games. I mean, Deebo Samuel is – the 49ers, again, they're over 4x as efficient when he was on the field versus when he was off of it. We don't need fancy numbers to know that the 49ers were way better with him. He's a tone setter. We don't need numbers to know that he had a great relationship with Kyle Shanahan sitting in his office, part of that great locker room that the 49ers had. I don't think that's out of reach. Just because an agent has created a little bit of a bluster here because he's also representing DK Metcalf and A.J. Brown doesn't mean that Deebo Samuel has fully gone over to the dark side and you can't communicate with him anymore. I mean, for the time being, it seems that way, but I think the 49ers firmly believe that they can wait this out. They could figure out a way to make everybody in this situation happy. So just my speculation right here. All right, guys. Cool. Thanks for all the questions. Good stuff today. Subscribe to the channel. Appreciate all your support. I'm off to watch some basketball and some baseball. Maybe have a beer night before the draft. We don't get started till 5 p.m. tomorrow, so we got some time. So we'll see what happens tomorrow, but all the best. I'll be here with all the updates. Sub to The Athletic, sub to the YouTube channel. Have a great night. Take care.